Yo, good morning, GMG traders, man. Hope everybody's feeling good today. It's a little bit early. It's only 8:30, so if you're already not feeling good, man, go back to bed and let's try again. Nah, but all jokes aside, we did go ahead and get in on this recording early. I wanted to show you guys the news, all right? So like the news comes out at 8:30, I believe. Let me just double check that real quick. So yeah, we have PPI month over month. I'm just gonna bring that over here real quick, show you guys. Where's that at? Just seen it right here. So wait, what? Where is it at? Right here. So we have PPI coming out in about, it's literally 10 seconds. So I wanted to show you guys. Obviously yesterday we had a 100-point drop off that news. So let's see what the news has for us today. All right, so I wanted to show you, I kind of wanted to get it on video so you could see what happened. So news is out right now. I'm actually going to drop this down to about a 15 just so we could see. All right, I have some music playing in the background, but it's not, I don't think the computer's picking that up, so I mean it doesn't really matter. We really don't care, not for that right now. All right, so again, doesn't seem like much. All right, I mean we have, let me see here, let me update it, see if I can get those actual numbers for you guys. All right, forecast previous, I still haven't gotten the update. Still hasn't showed up on what I use right here. Look, so we have our forecast at 0.1 or negative 0.1. Previous was 0.5, negative 0.5. So for those who have been watching, you guys know I don't really know too much about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I've got my own research to do, and I've got to get better with understanding what these numbers mean. So you know, we have the actual, right? So we had the forecast was negative 0.1, and that's what we came out at. So I really don't know what to say, you know what I'm saying, like in terms of like what that means for the market. I mean, it just means that I don't know, we hit expectations. Right now I do know that yesterday's PPI numbers being that bad and stuff like that, like I know that those numbers means that the Fed is going to have to raise hikes a little bit more aggressively. So we do, you know, I do have a small understanding that the market's not going to be doing too good. All right, yesterday's 200-point drop, and 100 of those points coming just off of the news and pre-market. I believe that we are to expect more blood, more downside rather than upside. So I mean, that's just something I keep in the back of my head, is that we're just not doing too great, right? This move right here, if I just show you guys yesterday, here you go, they don't compare, right? Yesterday's news right here instantly dropped us about 100 points, and then we just, you know, we finished the day over 200 points to the downside, right? Today's news had no effect, really no effect, right? So that's all I was trying to get on video for you guys this morning. And then yeah, we'll just get right into our morning prep. All right, so I mentioned in yesterday's video that from now on, our morning preps, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be leaving the lines, right? Any levels that I found yesterday and I had up yesterday, I'm going to be leaving them. And what I'm going to do in today's video is I'm just going to talk about some of the things that we saw yesterday, and then kind of highlight one of the potential plays that we could have got off yesterday, just off of using one of our levels, where, you know, if some people are out there confused as to how I use my levels when we trade, I got a nice little example for us there. All right, so if that sounds like something you want to stick around for, go ahead, honestly. All right, so let's get right into it. Right, let me see here, let me switch this to, we'll go to the daily. All right, and then we just kind of work our way down, right? It's kind of how we like to do our analysis, top down, and we just go from there. All right, so we're gonna start with the daily right now and see what we've got. Now there's the massive drop from yesterday, and then right now we have an inside one, right? So for anyone who knows the strat, or you might not even know how to trade the strat, but you at least know the inside one, you know, 2 bars and 3 bars, right? So if not, we have an inside bar right here, right? The low of this candle is not lower than the low of the candle before it, and then the high of this candle is clearly not higher than the one before it. All right, so that gives us an inside bar, or inside candle, right? So that's kind of really what I'm just gonna get from the daily perspective, right? I don't really need to sit here too much time, because I've spent a lot of time already watching this, right? There's not much. I already know that I'm watching this price level at 39.08. That's just a support that I have from right here. All right, this support right here, turn resistance right here, turn support again right here. So support, here we are going back towards that support. So 39.08, you know, if you want to get a little you know, you can say 3900 even, right? Because that's just the whole number. That's the psych number. That's the number most people, I don't even want to say most people. It's just a number a lot of people will be watching, right? 3908. Sure, that's a nice number. That's a nice area on the chart. But just 3900 even. It's a whole number. It's prettier. That's probably where you'll get a little bit more buying pressure if you were shorting this or anything like that. All right. So since I already know that's the level I'm watching here on the daily, all I want to do is just get a little glimpse here and kind of just see where we're at today, right? If it's an inside bar, are we 2 up, 2 down, or is it a 3? So we got that. Now we're going to go ahead and pretty much drop down from here to the 4-hour, okay? Now, what I do on the 4-hour for the most part, I try to find levels for intraday trading, right? So if I was going to look to go short or long today, I want to find on the 4-hour if there's any like support or resistance that I'm going to be running into, right? So right now we see that we're sitting down here. If we were going to you know what I'm saying, get into getting some longs or something today in the market, right? You know, now obviously after we see what we're presented with, after we see the opening, you know, when we 9:30 comes, we see what we got. Just, you know, if you decide to go long, it's good to know where you want to possibly trim some position, or trim some of your size off, or get out altogether, right? And that's basically what I do here on the 4-hour, is find those levels. So for example, here's one real quick and easy, right? If I decided to go long today up and over our pre-market low, which is going to be sitting right here around 39.80, right? If I decide to go long above that, I now know, just based off this 4-hour chart, that we have a little bit of resistance churn support, or support churn resistance here, right? We have a pivot point, right? This is just it's easier for me to just call it a pivot point, right? This would be an area where if I went long right here, I mean, we're talking 25 points. That's more than enough. But if you weren't thinking at the time like this is enough, you know, looking at this, you might start thinking a little bit different. You might think, okay, you know, first of all, if you're sitting here holding a 25-point dub and you're like, this isn't enough, man, yeah, man, you might want to check on that greed a little bit. But anyways, you know, if you're sitting here looking at this on the 4-hour, you clearly see that this is a pivot point. This is where you want to trim some of your position, possibly get out altogether, what have you. But anyway, this is a pivotal point, all right? 4,000 even, if you want to just use 4,000 even, since like we just mentioned about the 3,900, that whole psych number, you know, the whole 4,000 just looks prettier. And just keep in your mind that this is where you might run into some selling pressure, right? If you bought calls right here, if you went long right here, just keep in mind you may run into some selling pressure around here, okay? If you look over to the left, you have some more right here, right around 4,010. You know what I'm saying? So you can put this area right here where we know is a pivot point, right? Boom, rejected, came back up, closed right there, and then we just gapped up above that. Now yesterday, there was really no hope for that to use as a support. It might have bounced or not a little bit, but yeah, we definitely ended up crushing that and just, you know, going. But on the way up, this is a point that we'd be wanting to watch, right? If you didn't sell all of it here at 4,000, you didn't trim at all, you didn't do anything, you know, consider maybe around 4,010 doing so. If not, we use the high of the wick, right? So we use this candle, we go to the high of that wick, 4,016. You know, these are all areas right around here. Now, I personally, my favorite one, the one that I would be using today, it's going to be right here, right? Just most recent, right? This one right here is good as well, right? I mean, it's just $10 higher. But this is our most recent one. This was put in yesterday, right? So if we come back up and test this again today, I expect a little bit of selling pressure on here. Not to say that this isn't going to, hit this, maybe consolidate a little bit, then push up and go more. I mean, it can. I'm just trying to let you guys know that, if you went long, that's 25 points, from overnight high to that. Feel free to trim. If you don't think that that's enough, consider checking on that greed, all right? Because 25 points on an ES contract is more than enough. You know what I'm saying? So there you have it for the 4 hour. We're just looking for our pivots. And again, if we were going to trade this to the downside, right? Let's say we cross yesterday's low right here at 39.38. Well, if we look over to the left, where would our first area of, support be? Probably right here. Right? This is what? The 7th. The 7th was last week. So last week we came down, right? We were down here. We were trading down here. Pre-market we came down. We came back up. As this candle was coming down, it found support right around what? 39.02. Again, 3900. Just to be on the prettier number side, right? Whole cycle number, nice and even. This would be an area for support, right? So if you were going short, again, if you were to even wait to cross below this at 39.38 and you go short from here to there, that's 36 points. If that's not enough for you, check that greed, right? If you haven't already trimmed some or haven't already got out, that would be a point where I'd be considering to do so, right? You might even consider maybe this area right here at 39.19, maybe 39.20, right? We have the top of this. Pre-market resistance might be able to get a bounce off of that. These are levels that you're going to be watching, all right? I use the 4 hour for pivot points. Find levels where you might run into some resistance or support, right? If you're in a long, then you want to trim some at resistance possibly or something like that, right? You don't want to be holding at resistance and then find out that the play you had that was up 30 points is now only up 10 because it bounced, it rejected at resistance and then dropped, and you didn't trim or anything like that, right? And then you would be stuck with that L after being up so much, right? So that's just that. That's what we're doing on the 4 hour. We're kind of good with that. We have 4,000 even, right around 4,000 to the upside, and then we're watching 3,900 even to the downside. Okay, pretty simple. Let's go down to the 1 hour, and then here I'm going to switch over to our pre-market, and we're going to show you something that happened yesterday that I kind of want to point out as a little bit of a educational thing or something, right? And actually, let's go down to the 15 so we can see a little bit better. All right, we at here, and then I need to pull up my Discord for this one. I want to show you guys. Now, for anyone who's been kind of watching the channel, you guys know that we use the same levels every day: overnight high, overnight low, P-day high, P-day low. Previous day high, previous day low, and then we use our value areas, right? And sometimes I tell you guys, we have our levels, and basically just watch these levels and trade them accordingly, right? Now, what do I mean by trade them accordingly? Like, what do we mean by that? Well, excuse me. Here's a little bit of an example I kind of want to show you guys. All right, this is a picture I sent to the Discord, and then let me just open this up, make sure that that's up. All right, and then is my logo a little blinding? It's not that bad. You guys will let me know in the comments if it's in the way. All right, I'll take it out. But you can see right here, right? This was sent to my Discord at 10:20, right? So at 10:20, I let the Discord know that we're holding below the overnight low, right? We crossed below the overnight low. Our ticks were looking negative. These were kind of ticking down here, so everything was looking bearish at the time. We had this nice little trend line holding this down. Now, pay attention to how the 5 minute right here. We were holding below the overnight low, okay? This is the picture I sent to the Discord, and then these are this is the text behind it. All right, I said open so far, cross below the overnight low at 40.30 and currently holding. All internals are bearish, no reason to expect a move back up. Could try to short if overnight low holds as resistance. All right, now that is what I mean by having one of your levels, you know what I'm saying, and playing it accordingly, right? We had our overnight low, and I'm gonna need to get that picture back up for you guys. Hold on. Actually, no, I don't. We have it right here. We have our overnight low, right? It was broken. We broke below 40.30. and we started to kind of consolidate, right? And I could even go down to the 5 minutes so you could see that better. All right, we start to see this happen right here, sideways, big red followed by some white, then we got an indecision candle, then we got some buyers stepping back in. But what happened right here? We tapped the overnight low almost to a tick, right? Almost to a tick. We got pretty close to 40.30 right there, and then the next candle is an engulfing red candle. All right, I know that some people might say, you know what I'm saying, it didn't really engulf it completely. I'm just looking at the body. The body of this red is way bigger than the body of this red engulfing candle, followed by another indecision candle. All right, if you didn't decide to go short already up here, now that one is the more aggressive trade. You know what I'm saying? The more aggressive trader would have just been like, all right, the minute that we tapped right here, the minute we were up here, I bought some shorts, right? Now, I'm not saying me personally. I'm just saying an aggressive trader would have bought some shorts right here, right? Now, the idea behind this is that you're expecting price to reject. You're expecting price to drop and do this, exactly what it ended up doing, right? Now, your stop loss would be, now this is a really, really good trade, right? The reason I like this one is because your stop loss would be anything up and over, right? Had you went above 40.30, and you know what I'm saying, maybe give yourself 3 points, so 40.33 or something like that would have been your stop loss. If you wanted to, you could have used this high right here, but that would be a little much. You know what I'm saying? That would be a nice 8-point stop loss. Now, you know, it's something you can live with. You can live with that. But anyways, you get in right here, and then you start to see this, and now you're straight. There is no drawdown to this trade, right? Right, so we had overnight low hold as resistance. This starts to come back down. You could have decided to grab your short below this indecision candle right here, this doji, right? We have all this, we have this doji indecision, and then the decision was made right here. As soon as you got short right here, you could have had from here, before you started seeing some selling or some buying come back in, you would have already been up 15 points. Again, 15 points, more than enough with an ES contract, and even with some MES contracts. And even if you're trading SPY, if you just grab a couple, you know, maybe one SPY contract, you rip that for 15 points. I know that it's 15 over here, so for SPY it's not 15, but it's still a good amount. You know what I'm saying? And we, you know, so I can show you that right here. Same exact thing, guys. All right, there's our overnight low. We broke the overnight low. We got all that, you know, this chop right here. There's our indecision candle. If you decided to get in after the indecision candle, you still rip that for a solid, what, almost 2 points. All right, so SPY, almost 2 points on one contract. Probably doesn't seem like the best. You know, it doesn't seem like you're going to make a lot of money there. But this is how you know, train yourself to see these kind of moves. Maybe the first time you saw it, you bought 1 or 2 contracts. But after the 50th time of seeing it, you're loading this up. You're grabbing 5, 10, 20 contracts, right? Because you're more confident in the trade. But I just wanted to show you guys that. Wanted to show you guys how we were able to use the overnight low. We were able to use that as resistance on the way back up. We knew that our internals were bearish. We knew that the overall day was going to be bearish with the bad news that we had. And I just overall did not expect bulls to step back in and get us up and over the overnight low and do something like, you know, up and over and something like this, you know what I'm saying, where they push us back up to, you know, just back up. I didn't expect any big push up like that, so was pretty confident in that, and we were able to go ahead and snag. Now we got in like right here. We got in after this indecision candle, right? We weren't the aggressive trader who just got shorts up here, but I like that. I may get some trades like that, you know what I'm saying? Maybe one contract right here, and if you're wrong, use this trend line right here as support or a resistance, really, right, on the way up. Add another one maybe, and then if you're even, you know, if it goes up more, cut it. But that's just that's all about position sizing, and you know what I'm saying, managing your trades, and that's a whole different video, a whole different topic, right? But there's one play that you could have ripped yesterday. Okay, so now let's get into today. Let's get into doing some morning prep, and let's get ready for today. All right. So like I told you guys before, I'm just gonna, these lines are all from yesterday. I'm gonna go ahead and just move them around today and show you guys how we find them. Right Not that hard. We have this gap here. I'm just gonna leave this box there. But let's start moving some levels around. All right. So overnight high, we know that's what it's right there. And I'll make these. I'll adjust them so that they're more accurate. Yesterday, what is this? Yesterday high of day, somewhere around there. Yesterday low of day. Oh, where'd that go? Yesterday low of day. That's all the way down here. And then we have value areas, which is what we'll do is we'll go over here. Actually, no. Give me 1 second, y'all. Bear with me while I load up my studies, my volume profile. All right. And then here we get our value areas from yesterday, right? So here's this is all of yesterday's value area, this highlighted yellow. So we know that value area low would be the bottom of this highlighted yellow box. Sometimes it's kind of hard for me to find the bottom. I can't even see it. All right, 39.58ish, right around there. And then value area high, right up here, kind of adds up with, lines up perfectly with yesterday's high. And then we take this VPLC and we put it right there. All right. And then we'll just take our studies, edit studies, and we'll remove that. All right. Where's that VPLC I put? It was right here. I feel like that VPLC is wrong. Oh, this is from the other day. All right, let's remove that. This is the VPLC I just put in from yesterday, right? Virgin point of control. So there's our levels, right? These are all the levels we have for today and that we can use for today. And this is our morning prep, right? This is where we're getting ready to trade the morning. This is how we see what we got for today, right? Pretty simple. Yesterday high of day, there it is. Overnight low. Let's take that and let's overnight low is down here. I didn't move that one. Okay, right there. There you go. And I'm gonna keep this video raw. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do any edits, y'all. I want y'all to see, like, it's not that. I mean, it's not. Ain't really shit to hide, man. This stuff is not. I'm not gonna be like it's stupid easy, but I mean, it's not that hard, right? Overnight high. There it is. Now we just adjust and make it look pretty. You know what I'm saying? Really get it in there. And I'm sorry for anyone who who's gonna stick around on my channel. Just know that I'm kind of a perfectionist. I like things to look nice, or not even perfectionist. I guess I'm just aesthetically like I'm not gonna put lines on here that don't look nice. All right, so VPLC here. Yesterday high of day. Let me just make sure that's on there. Yep. Yesterday high of day. So 40.50 seems like it was the high of day and it was the value area high. So that would be something we're watching for the upside. Obviously a long way to go, but this is a strong level. 40.50. We've got two areas of resistance there. Yesterday's high and value area high. So I think we talked about this at the beginning of the video where this would be an area to trim or something like that. Again, my memory's not great. I already forgot what level that was. That's why I put these levels down and I could watch them. If I were to just say the levels and try to remember them, yeah, I'd be cooked. All right. So here are our levels for today, and what can we do with these? All right. So first, let me just clear some of this up from yesterday. Want to go ahead and remove all this stuff so it's not in my way. So what do we have for today? So first, let's get into our three questions. Right. Question number one: where's price at right now in relation to yesterday's range? Right. So we have yesterday's high right here. Yesterday's low down here. Let's just drag this all the way. Where are we trading currently in comparison to yesterday's range? We're in that range. Now we are at the lower portion of that range. So this would get something like a arrow like this in my notebook. You know what I mean? Not a straight down because we're not opening in a gap down or a gap up. You know, it's not a gap, but we are definitely at the lower of the range. So you know what I'm saying? Still balanced because we're within the range. Don't forget that this kind of screams this a little more than it does this arrow. But personally, I would just be writing this down as a slightly bearish, very slightly bearish, but overall more balanced than anything, right? If I had to pick one of these two to be more right than the other, probably this one, just just to stick with the more balance, right? So that's question number one. We are opening within that range. Okay. Question number two would be, where are we opening in regards to the overnight range? Okay. There's our overnight range, and it looks like we're smack in the middle of it. So this right here would definitely get more of a balanced answer in our book. So question number one and question number two kind of leaning towards balance. Of course, we are at the bottom of the range, like we just said for question number one. So, but it's not that huge of a deal, all right? Still balanced, still within the range, and yeah, still gonna play that accordingly, right? Very balanced. No, doesn't seem like we're gonna have much chance for at open play here or anything like that. Okay. Here's yesterday's open, right? So for question number three, what you want to do is just draw a line where we I'm sorry, I said open. Yesterday's close. Draw a line where we closed yesterday. Okay. And then all you want to do is see how much activity was spent above and how much activity was spent below, right? This is the activity above. This is the activity below. I'd be willing to give this about 90-10. So 90% of the activity took place above and about 10% took place below. All right. Again, you could say 95-5. You can say 85-15. It's up to you. Just eyeballing it, I'm going to go with 90-10. All right. So 90% up, 10% down. And basically, when we ask ourselves these three questions, that's what we're getting at. We're getting at, do we have a potential for a play at open? Should we be more patient at the open? And with the answers today, basically screaming balance, right? We are well within yesterday's range. We are well within the overnight range. And although the inventory itself is a little imbalanced, right? More up than down. Questions number one really is what determines if we're going to have quote my guy Trade Brigade Matt, quote him, a shock and all open, right? Are we gonna have a shock and all open? Well, doesn't look like it, because we're opening within range, we're opening within balance. Okay, now value area, we are opening within that value area currently as we speak right now. This is our value area high, value area low right here. And we have our value area high up here, lining up with yesterday's high. Again, within this value also screams balance. Anything within here, low key, just kind of can go both ways, right? Because we understand that all of this is the value area. People are content with price being anywhere within here. No one's going to want to push it up anymore. No one's going to want to push it down. It's until someone does, right? Until you have that aggressive, seller or buyer, right? So today just kind of screams balance, right? So what is the trading plan for today? Really, sit back, watch, and see what the market presents presents for us, right? Like I mentioned this morning in the beginning of the video, we have our levels and we play them accordingly, right? This means if we were to open right here and come down, hit the overnight low, maybe even cross a little bit, get some kind of consolidation down here, and then something like this, there's your play, right? It failed the overnight low and yesterday's low of day, right? We have two levels down here. If we can't get sellers to do something like this and push us down below, and we get like consolidation, run back up, then you can go ahead and go long right there using the overnight low and yesterday's low as your stop loss, right? If you get some kind of longs around here, you would be using these levels as your floor, right? If the first time you went long because the sellers weren't strong enough to push it down, well, once you're in, if you see it go down, just know, all right, let me get out. You know what I'm saying? Because now they may be strong enough, right? But that's how we use these levels. If we do get some kind of push through, but then it comes back up and then bounces and then drops, the same way you use the overnight low and yesterday's low of day as support on the way down, had you went long, you would be using this as resistance for when you went short. Cross below, the fail, we got a retest right here. Buyers were not able to get us up and over back into this area. So now we know that if we, might even be more patient and wait till we cross the open, this low right here. Right? Let's say we open, you get a low, goes up, then you get a lower, you get a print below the low of day. That's a good short right there, using these as your stop losses. All right, and that's, again, another little example of how we use our levels accordingly. This can go to, this goes for any of our levels. If we get the overnight high, get tested, something like this, then it comes back down, then we get a break up and over, you know what I'm saying? This could be your long right here at the overnight high, and then you use the overnight high as your stop loss. All right, real simple. And even if it did something like this, came back and then did that, then you would, you could use this as your stop loss. You could use the overnight low as your stop loss, or the overnight high, I'm sorry. But it all just make sure the risk reward makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Don't use the overnight high as your stop loss if you got your calls right here. You know what I'm saying? If you went long right here at 39.90, then when we come back down around here, maybe use this low right here when it came back and then went up, because that would be a small stop loss. Anything way down here, you know what I'm saying? We talking, you went long right here, now we're talking 13-point stop loss versus like a 2 or 3 point stop loss, all right? So that's what I meant by using our levels accordingly. If you don't quite understand what I mean by that, just let me know. Let me know in the comments. Hop in my Discord. Let me know in the Discord. I'll sit down and explain to you in more detail how I use these levels and whatnot. At the end of the day, these videos are for you guys to learn, right? So if you have any questions or anything, let me know. I'm open to answer these questions for you guys. I mean, it's not that hard for me to sit down and try to help one of you guys or some of you guys on this topic, man. I love this stuff. So that will do it for this morning's morning prep. It's now 9 o'clock. I'm gonna go ahead and sit down and just kind of chill and wait for the market to open. All right, so just play patient, play it safe, and let these plays come to you guys. If there's one thing I learned in these 2 years of trading, I was so jumpy, I was so ready to get into plays that I burnt so much money that now, more recently, it's the opposite. I'm almost nervous to get into some of these plays, but we're learning to deal with that by positioning smaller, waiting for trade setups to get to you that you feel highly confident in, so confident in that if you lose that trade, you're not knocking yourself about it. You're not sitting there like, damn, man, I should not got that trade. No, instead you lose that trade and you go, oh well, I lost the trade, but I was very confident in it. I followed my rules, I followed my plan. It just didn't go as planned, so we'll get the next one, right? Set your stop losses and your take profits in a fashion where if you win trades, you win nicely, and if you lose nicely. You know what I mean? What I mean by that is you don't lose $500 on one trade. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're already making like double that in most of your trades, right? Don't be sitting here and have your trades make $100, $200, and then have your losses be $300, $400. You know what I'm saying? That's not how we become successful traders. Your L's need to be smaller than the W's, okay? With all that being said, man, I'm gonna this video is already going on 30 minutes long. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here, man. Hope you guys enjoy your trading day. Let me know in the comments if you guys like the way I'm prepping, or if you guys just really don't care, or whatever. I mean, I'm probably gonna keep prepping like this because I feel like you guys can see a little bit better what I'm looking at and what I'm getting at, right? Remember, 3,900 even from our 4-hour chart when we were looking at the 4-hour time frame. 3,900 even to the downside was kind of our support, and then to the upside was 40.30 or something like that. And we can just real quick one more time. All right, one more time. We'll take a peek at it. All right, so here we are. Yeah, right around 4,000 even actually. So 4,000 even is where we had this resistance, and then 3,900 even. So those would be numbers we're watching on in the back of our heads. But for now, when I'm trading, when I'm sitting here looking at the chart, until we breach all of these levels that I could physically see already, then there's no point for me to, what I'm saying, I could do something like this, 3,900, kind of put a level there, and then I could kind of come over here and 4,000 even, just kind of put that level there. All right, and it's just levels for me to watch that I know. I mean, I have this stuff in my notebook anyway, so that's why sometimes the levels don't be on my charts, because they just make my charts look messy. All right, with all that being said, man, hope you guys enjoy your trading day. Hope you guys have a big fat bag green day, but if not, we'll get them tomorrow. All right, GMG trading team out. Peace.